Now let's step back here and let's look at individuals in this. Let's look and see what this design tells us about men and women. My friends, we have watered down and trashed what we are as human beings in our culture. We have completely blasphemed and dishonored what we truly are as men, as women, the glorious things that we are, the glorious and important roles that we serve. We've completely thrown those out the window, and we've taken such a cheap substitute. Let's look and see what God says in this design about what a man is, about what a woman is. What does Genesis 2 tell us about men? Let's look at men here. What does it tell us? It tells us that a man is God's direct delegate on the earth. That the glorious, holy, infinite Creator made this being of flesh and spirit, and He called it man. Not a woman, but a man. And He delegated, He gave power and authority and responsibility to that being for the entire creation, the whole earth. He delegated to that. If you are a man today, you share in that delegated authority. God made you so powerful, so creative, so skillful and useful and free and intelligent that He is willing to delegate to you His authority on the earth. What else do we see? He is the leader and master of creation. The man. Remember, God said, go and subdue this earth. Manage it. Take control of it. Now that's a little M there on master. He's not God. I don't want to imply that. I don't want to imply that He is a God-like creature. No. I'm just simply saying that this is what the Creator has done. He has given the leadership, authority, and responsibility for managing and populating and controlling and subduing this earth that He created to the man. To man. That's you, men. That's you. His meaning then is found in work. That's what we learn here in Genesis chapter 2. That the man's meaning as a human being, as a delegate and a leader and a master over creation, is found in his work. That's where he is to find. That's where he's going to find meaning. Of course, work under God, work in submission to God, work for the glory of God. But that's what God made the man to do. Look at this, Genesis 2:15. Then the Lord took the man and put him in the Garden of Eden to tend and to keep it. Remember, you learn things about God by what He does. He placed the man there and He said, this is why I have made you. Powerful stuff that is worth living up to. But we also see when the man falls, we see his purpose in being created, his central, the central way he's going to find meaning. We see God cursing it. We see His meaning in what God curses. Let's go here and look at this in Genesis chapter 3. Again, we're still trying to understand what God is telling us about the man through the creation and early days of creation. When God is cursing the man, He says this, because you have eaten from the tree of which I commanded you, saying, you shall not eat of it. He says, because you sinned, this is what I'm going to do to you, Adam. This is what I'm going to do to man. Cursed is the ground for your sake. Now what did God tell him to do to the ground? Tend and to keep it, to manage it. In toil you shall eat of it all days of your life. In other words, you're going to work. Your work is going to be cursed. You see, God is going to the central thing that is to measure and evaluate Adam's life, his work, and He's cursing that central thing in his life. That's not the only thing in the man's life, of course, but it's the central thing. Both thorns and thistles it shall bring forth for you, and you shall eat the herb of the field, and the sweat of your face. Your work is going to be discouraging and hard. You shall eat bread till you return to the ground, for out of it you were taken, for dust you are, and to dust you shall return. This is why, men, that you have that thing inside of you, that you want to go out there and lay claim to something. You want to go out there and take that piece of creation and you want to manage it and you want to subdue it and you want to bring it under your control. Whether that means you go out and you're finding meaning in fixing a car, or you're finding meaning in writing a book, or you're finding meaning in building a building. You feel that inner part of you that's driven to go and build and do and expand and rule. That's not all bad. Of course, the fall has made it bad. But that desire you have, men, inside of you is that desire that God has placed in there for you, that defines a great part of what you are as a man.